Welcome to today's episode of Heard and Seen Around. I am Rajesh Karipurath. This is my take on macroeconomic and geoeconomic data points, which I find interesting. I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed curating it. Cheers.
In politics, stupidity is not a handicap. Napoleon Bonaparte. A politician is a fellow who will lay down your life for his country. One of the major problems, with governing people is who you get to do it. Politicians are the same all over. They promise to build a bridge even where there is no river. Military intelligence is a contradiction in terms. Groucho Marx.
France is not just embracing nuclear power, it's practically married to it. 67.3% of its electricity comes from nuclear, comfortably ahead of Finland at 39.1% and South Korea at 31.7%. The US, though, is the volume champion, producing a staggering 782 kilowatt per hour of nuclear electricity. Meanwhile, India gets just 3.3% of its power from nuclear, leaving plenty of room to grow. As AI data centers and electrification send power demand soaring, nuclear is quietly making a comeback. It seems the atom has decided retirement was a little overrated. Tariffs were supposed to shrink America's trade deficit. Instead, the numbers went bargain hunting in the opposite direction. Over the last 18 months, the US goods trade deficit reached $1.8 trillion, up from $1.74 trillion in the previous 18 months, a 4% increase. Tariffs may have reshuffled supply chains and changed who America buys from, but they haven't eliminated the appetite for imports. The trade gap ultimately reflects what a country consumes versus what it produces, not just the taxes it puts on imports. Sometimes economics refuses to follow campaign slogans. While many industries have been disrupted over the last decade, JPMorgan has quietly become an even bigger profit engine. Its net income has surged from $24 billion to nearly $65 billion in 10 years, an astonishing 175% increase. It has cemented its position as the world's largest and most profitable bank, proving that scale, technology, and disciplined risk management and leadership can be a remarkably lucrative combination. In banking, size doesn't just matter, it often compounds. Here's the part of China plus one that often gets missed. Yes, factories making textiles, footwear, and basic electronics are moving to countries like India and Vietnam, but at the same time, China has quietly upgraded. In 2018, 41% of its exports came from newer industrial sectors. Today, that's nearly 65%. In other words, China is moving into higher value products while letting go of lower margin manufacturing. India has a genuine opportunity, but the bigger prize is moving beyond assembly and climbing the value chain before someone else does. India has built an impressive phone manufacturing ecosystem, but exports face a tougher challenge. Outside Apple and Samsung, roughly 61% of the global smartphone market is still dominated by Chinese brands like Xiaomi, Oppo, Vivo, and Transsion, companies that largely rely on Chinese manufacturing networks. Building factories is one thing, winning long-term global customers is another. India's next milestone isn't adding production capacity, it's landing export contracts with major international brands. In manufacturing, the hardest part isn't making the product, it's getting someone to order millions of them. When it comes to brewing beer, one company is in a league of its own. AB InBev produced a staggering 13.1 billion gallons in 2024, more than 1 in every 4 beers brewed globally, with a 26.4% market share. That's more than double Heineken's 12.8% and far ahead of Carlsberg at 5.4%. The industry's biggest winners haven't just mastered brewing, they've mastered acquisitions, distribution, and global brands. Turns out, in beer as in business, the biggest ingredient isn't hops, it's scale.